Welcome back to Super Tuesday Recap. This is your host Chris and Deepom here, and we're back, man. We're back with some proper criminals, some proper villains here. We're dealing with Legends of Tomorrow, season 3, episode 10, Daddy Darkest. John Constantine pays the Legends a visit. They agree to accompany him to a present-day psychiatric hospital and are surprised to discover who Constantine is trying to help. Amaya and Nate once again come face to face with Kuwesa. I honestly forgot how much I missed this show. I did.
Wow. Yes, I for one am here for the Sara Lance badass hour every week. If that's what's going to be, let's fucking go. I do want to say this, and this is a minor complaint that isn't going to bug anyone else. They've adjusted the app viewing. So if I'm watching it online, they get their full hour out of my ass. I was like 2 minutes late for this podcast. So I was like, this show's not over. I can't just walk away. I need to know how the show is. I don't know what they say in their ads, but I will say this: they got rid of the smarmy little "what's a laptop girl." So if that's the trade off I've got to take, that's fine.
You old ass motherfuckers who are mad at that little girl.
Fuck that girl. Fuck her.
Ugh. Oh man. No, I am totally here for renaming the show The Legend of Sara Lance. Like,
yeah.
She's fucking legendary. She just in this episode, all right? Let's think about what happens in this episode. Forget all the serious shit we're talking about. Let's just talk about Sara Lance's love life in this episode, right? She's flirting with Ava, right? John Constantine shows up. I'm gonna take Sarah's side on this one. She seduces Constantine.
Yo, the thing is, Constantine got there, immediately hit on Ray and hit on Sarah.
Right.
Like I love the fact that their sexuality was never like there's no conversations on a very special Legends of Tomorrow. It's just, oh yeah, by the way, these characters are bisexual.
Right. By the way, we could have one big party.
It's not a defining characteristic. It's a defining characteristic, but it's not the one that is the only defining characteristic of these characters in this show.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's just really, for me, I really enjoyed seeing that level of representation because it wasn't like there weren't hushed whispers. There weren't like startled looks. It was just, yeah, that's what Sarah does.
Yeah.
And that's what John does. That's how they get down.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
We're doing it. We're going with this. So, no, bad. So you start with her and Ava doing the little, I'm just calling to check in and stuff like that. Then you have Constantine showing up. She seduces Constantine, sleeps with him. And then in the episode with her calling Ava again, I'm like, yo, we're gonna get a threesome at some point this season. John's coming back. It's gonna be Ava and Sarah. Oh my God, Sara Lance is a fucking legend. I'm sorry, and I don't mean legend of I mean actual fucking legend, yo, legendary. I love this character, but you brought up a good point. Like, for some, I don't know what it is, but and take again. From now on, guys, when I talk about this stuff, I'm leaving Black Lightning out of this because I for what I know, it's not in the Arrowverse. So I'm just talking Arrowverse shows. Legends, after their first seasons, they just found it. I mean, they have some stumbles here and there, but nothing like Arrow or the Flash have had, and everything feels natural.
Yeah.
It just, like you said, the way that they dealt with the sexuality in this episode, it didn't feel forced. It was very natural. It was actually kind of funny, because you had Snart when he was trying to when he was trying to give advice to Sarah. He was just like, "Listen, I'm gay. I'm not blind." It's like,
yeah.
You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Yeah, no. Yeah, it's just like, oh, come on. It's so good. I swear to God, we're going to get into the details of this episode later on. The other thing I love about this episode.
We're just happy to be back, y'all. Sorry. This show's so good.
Yeah, it's so good. So, next to Sarah, of course, you know what I'm going to say. and I swear to God, we're gonna get into the meat of this episode. But the only person more legendary or as legendary as Sara Lance is Mick Rory, guys.
Mick Rory for king, emperor. What do you want to do, guys? Give him some power. Let him run shit. Let's just see how it goes.
Well, like, I like how that actually happens in this episode by accident. When he tells everybody what to do just because he wants to keep watching the fucking football game.
I haven't watched live football in
years. And I think Nate's like, it's like, wait, you're actually pretty good. Just get out of here.
No. It's Ray who's like,
oh, yeah.
You really showed some management potential. Leave. All right.
like I just like the entire episode. Like, I was watching the entire episode going, yo, they really had some serious shit going on, and Mick didn't go. Like, they
drank beer and watched football.
And there's actually one time when they were actually trying to contact him for some shit, and he kept just watching football.
Yo,
like,
they thought he was giving them orders. He's like, no, I'm talking to the game. I'm yelling at my television because Joe Buck won't shut up. Like, in that instance, we're all Mick.
Right? We're all you, Mick. Yeah.
Like, the first weekend of football, we can all take our posturing, and I'm worried about concussions, and I think that player safety is a big deal, and they should pay the players in college. But when the first Saturday hits, guess where I am? With a beer in my hand watching football.
You know, between that and then when Constantine shows up, and somebody says, he's like, yo, didn't we get rid of our last
Britain? We got rid of you.
Right.
That was skinny Brit in a trench coat. I was like, wow, that's a really good point.
I was like, did he really? What this British racism?
I'm not even sure what to call it. It's just Mick.
Really...
Is Mick a racist? Mick hates everyone. I don't even tell you. Like, was that racist? Maybe. I don't know.
All British people look alike. Like, I'm sorry. Between Sarah's love life and Mick, like, this episode was already like perfect. I was like, yo, you know what? I've missed this show. I just I
really
it.
Like how cool, like, he doesn't, at no point does he seem, did I read that he was like put off by Snart's being gay?
Nope. If anything, it felt like he was more weirded out that this is a Snart that's alive.
Yeah, that's the part that screws with him.
Right.
He's like, I want you to die. I put this to bed emotionally.
Right. Like, why? How are you here? You know?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that was the thing. So it's like, yeah, but again, it goes back to how the show has handled sexuality, in that it's just there, you know, like we've been watching and getting the vibes. Like, I think it was the first episode I said, it was like, yo, listen, Sarah and Ava, yo, that's gonna happen. And you were like, what? I'm like, no, look, they're giving the looks, yo, just like Sarah has this. She gives this look that's like, huh. And then, you just, okay. Yeah,
very first episode of the season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can just tell, you're like, yeah, no, that's her girl now. Like, that's it.
No,
and
there's that, and there's also, did Jax turn the sarcastic circuits up on Gideon when he left?
Somebody, she's been like this all season, though.
Bitch. I was like, look, you saucy bitch.
Right.
Like when she told Conti to put out a cigarette, I was like, you don't tell Conti what to do.
Right.
I was like, look, man, he lost his show. Let him smoke. Fuck.
Yo, that, and then when she kind of she gave privacy for Sarah to make the call.
Like, privacy, and she's like, Sarah looks at the ceiling like, this bitch.
Right. Why is she always in my business and shit? Like, oh man, it's so good, man. I think Gideon's been like that since, you know what? Since she had a real body.
They gave her form, yeah.
You know what? Yeah. And that shit, it's fucking hilarious. Shit, look, I guess we should get into this fucking episode now. Well, no, one more thing before we actually get into the actual meat of the episode. I really do wish and want them to somehow figure out how to do a Constantine show. Because Matt Ryan, he's always been...
He's too big for an ensemble.
He's too big for an ensemble, and...
He couldn't be on the show full time.
No, he couldn't. But he's... And this, like, you know, if you guys were following us when Constantine was on, myself and Shanna reviewed that season, and we would get so frustrated because it was like, yo, he is good as Constantine. NBC is letting him down, but airing episodes out of order and messing it up. Like, they messed that show up, and even then, it still wasn't bad. Right. It was still a decent enough show that it should have been saved. And every time Matt Ryan shows up as John Constantine, whether it's, you know, in live action or he's the one that does a voice whenever they have a well, not just CWCs, but they think what they did Justice League Dark. So he was. Oh, you're right. Yeah. He was John Constantine in there. So it's like, I really want that. I really want him to get a show back because, man, he deserves it, and he's so good in the role.
Some people were just made to play certain roles. I think we could make a very strong case for Robert Downey Jr., Tony Stark, right, and probably Captain Chris Evans. But right up there, I think the strongest one in the Arrowverse is Matt Ryan as Constantine.
Yeah. He gets into it. He nails it. He's perfect for it. Oh man, yeah, I miss it. And you know what? I'm gonna admit something here. So, you know, we all have our guilty pleasures watches. Or some things we know is probably not good, but we watch anyway. If the Constantine movie's on with Keanu Reeves, I'll watch it. It's not great, but
I've never sat through it.
You never?
No. Yeah. No. For me, I think it was. And this is gonna sound like this is probably who I was at the time, like an older, like they couldn't even make him fucking blonde.
Yeah.
Like, I think that was like, I was like that's not even hard. Just throw a fucking wig on him or something.
There were some things with that. They wouldn't let him smoke. And
that was the one that I was like, okay, Constantine's not smoking. What are we doing?
I'll at least give him that. They at least made it a running joke with it though, and they kind of did address it. Like, he would try to smoke but couldn't or something. But yeah, it's still like, again, it's a guilty pleasure watch.
I need to watch it. If it's one of those movies that you're talking about, I need to watch it. I need to watch it at least once.
Yeah, I think you should watch it at least once. But yeah, man, I don't know, man. It's just, yeah, I kind of wish they'd somehow save Constantine and bring it back and let him get his own show. Even if it's like a mini series, like, don't do full 13, like something.
If we get him once a season across the Arrowverse, I'm good.
Oh, that too. I'm definitely fine with that.
Like I said, you put him on that ship and you watch it happen in this episode. The entire dynamic on the ship tilts towards his axis. Like, he's that good at the role. He's that good of an actor, and he brings that much presence.
Yeah.
But if you can bring him in to one of these ensembles and kick up some dust for an episode or two, I think it's worth it.
Oh, absolutely.
And I completely forgot that he was on Arrow.
Yeah.
To the point where I'm watching it and Susan goes, "Hey, isn't that Matt Ryan who played Constantine on Arrow and has his own show first?" I'm like, "Wait, how do you know that?"
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I mean, I've poisoned her.
Yep. You have. So you have the girl Emily he's trying to save, and you find out. Now, this is one thing that I will say that I think that I get what they had to do here. And because everything else was so good, I'll allow it. There's no way Damien Dark's daughter grew that fast. She was not. No. She was not that big, guys. Like, this is a.
Wait, what do you mean?
Huh?
What do you mean?
She wasn't that old. It was like, what, 2 years ago? She grew that much in 2 years?
Oh no, I think we're dealing with a time traveling Nora.
Oh, so you think that's
Oh yeah, this is definitely dealing with the time traveling Nora, because otherwise he'd had her bring him back sooner.
Okay, that makes sense. I was like, I was waiting for them to kind of explain that, because I was like, she is way too old to be.
Oh no, I see what you're saying. Yeah. No, but yeah, for me that was definitely a time traveling bad guy.
So you know what I was thinking? You know what I went with it is? Because we do know they did kind of break time, and we saw what happened with, fucking Stein got a whole fucking child, granddaughter and shit. Now he's got shit. They got two lives if you think about it, because he had a daughter, and then he got a granddaughter. So that's two fucking lives, that Stein created. So I thought that maybe somehow that they just kind of yada yada that she was older when her dad died, and so. But I like your idea though, that because what ends up happening in the end when you find out that the lady who was running the asylum was part of this cult, if you will, this order. to take care of her, to make her a vessel for Mollis, you're like, well, maybe that is the case. Maybe that this is a time displaced.
Oh yeah, because she has to be old enough and strong enough to be the vessel to bring back Dark.
Right. So yeah, that made sense to me, and I like the fact that I like how because I didn't remember this until Constantine said something about this, about them tying into to Sarah, and the fact that they did have to basically save her soul and bring her back from the dark, and tying that into whatever Mollis is and whatever this demon is and whatever he's trying to accomplish, like it works because I completely forgot about that aspect of what was going on with Sarah. Completely forgot.
It was really, you're right, and you know I've covered these shows for a while now. Anyone who listens to our archives can attest to that. It was a really nice callback to a season on Arrow that's much maligned.
Yeah.
People didn't like the magic stuff on Arrow. And it's like the Legends writing team was like, fuck that, we'll save it. Like the Legends writing team is acting as real life legends, going back and correcting CW time errors.
Yo, they're literally like Thanos with the fine, I'll do it myself. Like that's literally what they're doing here.
They've got their own ship in their writing room, and they're going to fix the error. Mm-hmm. They're going to fix the magic season of Arrow.
Yes, absolutely. And because honestly, they're doing magic this season, and Damian, and again, look. And we said this last season when he was on with the Legion of Doom that they had, but like Neil McDonough he's good in this role. He was good in that season of Arrow, just like it felt like kind of like what happened with Caden James. It's like you're kind of underusing the actor and you're not really using them to the best of their potential. But here on fucking Legend of Tomorrow, he's great. Like when he shows up at the end, it's like, oh, thanks guys. Yeah, thanks for saving my daughter for me. But I'm gonna take her now. We're gonna handle this, and I'm just like, this is just not good. Like you don't need to overuse him. He's there, and you're just like, he's just.
Did you hear what who's the guy? Matt Leicester pitched. Apparently, the three of them pitched to the execs.
No.
A half hour version of a sitcom with the Legion of Doom. They pitched it repeatedly. Said they had so much fun on set together. They really love working together. They love being on these sets. They're like, here's what we can do.
Oh my god, I would so fucking watch that. I would so fucking watch that.
Oh man, of course.
Oh god. Oh my god. Yeah, don't get no. Let me. I gotta get that out of my mind now. But yeah, no. So I like what they did there because, like you said, it's like. The callback with Sarah and the darkness inside of her and stuff like that is something that I felt like has been missing from Arrow and Flash this season, where it's like, hey, make me feel that other stuff mattered. Even if it wasn't good, make me feel like it was mattered. And here they didn't. I'm like, shit, I completely forgot about that. I completely forgot about that. And now you tie it into Mollis and that basically the way for them to get out of that. The time period they were in was for the channel Mollis again because she could do it because of the darkness. Like I'm like, that was pretty fucking good. Like I would never have thought of that.
It was something that was so well laid looking back, but like this caught me out of left field.
Well, and then not only that, but then they do it, and you're like, oh, okay, end of the day, and then Constantine says to Ray at the end, it's like, yo, keep that tech gun with you because you might have to. Basically, you might have to put your captain down. Because
he's not even down, but he's like, you're gonna have to deal with this.
Yeah,
not win.
Right. Which then makes me go, whoa, shit's gonna get real, and like just the way they handle that, it's so funny because on the other two shows we've seen the villain, right? With Legends, we haven't. We have not come across.
Oh, you're right, because he threatens her with his true form this episode.
Right. And so we haven't really seen Mollis, and so, but yet and still, he still feels way more like this. Feels way more like pressing in what they're doing, and way more evil. I mean, Damien Dark, basically taking it because you get so then. like I like how everything kind of like came together here in this episode where you have it's kind of like Legends runs their writing like Agent of Shield, not as tight and not as like holy shit, but they do a good job of breaking off into groups and then telling a part of the story with those groups. And each of those parts of the stories might seem unrelated at a time, but they do come together, and you're like, oh, all that matters. So while you have Constantine, Snart, and Sarah, back in time, which obviously, and this is another time, they've traveled through time now, not using the Wave Rider, through magic, which is something we've never done before. They just threw that in there. But then you have it was Ray and what's her name? God damn it. Zari. Ray and Zari dealing with young Emily, and you're like, fuck, man. Like they're trying, like they were playing a game, everything all going good, then they ruined Jitters, and it was just like it just got really dark really fast. And you see when Zari touches her that she's, what do they say, one of the 6 or 5?
Yeah, one of the 6.
One of the 6. What's going, and then you have Quesa and Amaya, doing their thing. Like you're getting all these different pieces and all these little pieces of the puzzle here, and you still haven't seen the main villain, but you can tell that it's a serious fucking deal. And I just like how they've been able to do this. And like, is this going to be another one of those seasons that's kind of short? That's like only 17.
I haven't even looked to see how many we're getting.
It's 18. It's 18. 18.
Yeah, I'm just losing myself on the show because I think that you're right. They found some sort of magic sweet spot with the pacing and the character development and the way they do it. Because next episode, it's a Groundhog Day episode. They're wearing 70s outfits. They look ridiculously amazing, and it's still going to make sense with this show.
Yeah. Well, and
this episode was a fucking horror movie. Aside from like all the obvious Exorcist shout outs, I saw one more. Was it The Shining?
Yeah.
The room they go into. Did you know what number it was, right?
Oh, what was it? It was like 1400, right?
237.
237. Yeah.
That's the room from The Shining.
Ah.
So I think it's cool that they're able to play with the show enough to play with the format and the form and have it tell a story that is a horror story, and then come back next week with, I mean, Ray's wearing a scarf, and if they're wearing 70s disco outfits, I couldn't be happier.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, it's the way, and then like, so when you got Amaya and Quesa talking, you found out more about like why Quesa went the way she did, and you're like, it's one of those things like, okay, she's kind of a villain, but like I can kind of understand. Her village was basically slaughtered and she was left alone. And, when she was like, I had to survive in this war-torn country. I had to do things. I was like, ooh, yeah, that just sounds really, like, evil and bad. And I can see why she's upset right now. And it makes sense. And, yeah. So, you also kind of get the idea that they're going to have to combine, and bring all these totems together to defeat Maulus. And while
which is very Captain Planet of them.
Dude, yes, they're gonna form fucking Captain Planet. They're gonna form I was thinking of the same thing. I was like, wait, are we doing Captain fucking Planet?
I really wish they hadn't put that at the end because I love this episode. And then at that point, it took a left turn into hard camp, and I was like, wait a second. I watched Voltron on Netflix. I get it. The 5 lions forming the one. I get it. It's fine. It's a direction. I wouldn't take it. We've got fire, earth, and missing. We know where water is. We know where air is, and we know where spirit is.
We're gonna say we're gonna go with heart.
Mowgli. I'm not gonna talk. No, I'm not gonna go on a Captain Planet rip. I'm gonna fight that right now.
Heart.
What? So what's 6?
Yeah, that's the question, right?
Is it time?
Could be.
I don't know.
And
that's not an educated guess. That's literally me just plucking things out of the air. Anyone who's gonna accuse me of anything.
Well, and here's the thing.
If it is time, I want my fucking check, CW.
Yeah, it could be time. And then here's the thing. Does Rip know? Because Rip's now escaped.
Oh, Rip's working this problem from the other end because our team's going to go after the totems.
Mm-hmm.
Rip's going to go after Moss,
Mm-hmm.
which is going to mean Rip's coming after Sarah at some point.
Yes.
We're going to get that fight.
Yes. And Rip's going to get his ass whooped.
I think Sarah's going to win because that's the show, but methinks time traveling organizer of a literal time bureau probably can hold his own. He's got time travel. He's got time travel tech and any weapons from any area you could gather.
He better bring them all.
Oh, he knows who he's dealing with. Look, as long as he knows it's Sarah, he's gonna look like Cable in the mid-90s.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck you, Rob Liefeld.
Oh God, feet.
What feet? Who has feet? Why would you want to draw feet?
Favorite line from Mick this episode: "Water bitch stays in the freezer."
Okay, I know we got the depth of Kulas's character and the stuff of the Maya. Mick is right.
Yeah,
don't defrost her until we all have a plan.
Right.
Like, it worked out in the end. Amaya was wrong.
Well, was she? I don't know, man. Like they were having a moment, and Nate came in being Nate.
But anyone would have run in there if you saw your people's. I don't know. That the same reaction I would have. Like, yo, he didn't fire. He said, "All right, just back away."
Yeah, true. Yeah.
If he fired, I'd be like, "Okay, Nate's fucked up." But like, he was like, "All right, let's get. Hey, I know maybe you guys are talking, but I don't know that."
Also, I appreciate him pointing out the trigger on the cold gun. Like, wow, that's
I'm glad it's a cold gun again.
Hey,
let's see if we can keep it that way, CW. Please.
Also, just shout out to this. Like, I hope no one was trying to seduce anyone while I was being lobotomized. Because they really were.
That's exactly what happened, actually.
Right. That literally happened.
Don't ask so many questions, Lynn.
Right. Hey, listen. I'm just saying.
You're not lobotomized, are you? You're welcome.
Right. Yeah, no, but I love the show. I love what they've done. I miss the show.
It was so well balanced, this episode, man.
It really was. And I'm now just waiting.
But even throughout, what's really crazy? The best tribute to Martinstein so far was Ray and Zari's quiet moment in the lab.
Yeah.
I miss him too. Holy shit, that was better than making Jax try to act at the funeral.
Yeah.
And by the way, you're back in 2017. No one's going to say what's up to Jax. He's got a job or some shit. See how he's doing. That's where you dropped him off, right?
Well, I don't think they've left since the last time we were there, so I think they did. Because if you think about it, this episode happens like right after the last one did. We went on break, but they didn't, because John Constantine shows up right at the end of that last episode.
That's a really good point. Okay, so I think I stand corrected. That's a really good point.
Yeah, but
I still would have been like, "Hey, yo, Jax, what if they just came back and Jax is watching football with Mick? Hey guys, hey."
Well, I'm also a little upset that they destroyed Jitters and didn't say shit to the Team Flash.
I need the people ensuring Jitters to stop. Some businesses need to fall.
No, like, never forget, a bunch of cops were murdered there.
Murdered.
Like, I don't.
The Flash gets run up on in Jitters like twice a month.
Right. But, like, Zoom literally snapped the neck of a bunch of fucking cops and Jitters. I need you to close that bitch down.
We're gonna do a demolishing. We're gonna get it redrawn as residential.
We're gonna turn it into a community garden. Like, we're gonna
something, man. Just like, God, you're right. Like, I forgot about the cops.
I did not. That shit was fucking brutal. Because it was one of those things he ran through. He set everybody's neck because he was so fast. They stood there for a moment and then dropped like a sack of potatoes. And I was like,
Which is a visual you think only works in comic books until you see him pull it off.
Yeah, and then you're like, oh yeah, like no. Hey, I'm gonna go sit in the corner over there. Yeah, that's where Officer Casey died. Like, no, no.
Yeah, this is Officer Casey Corner.
Yeah, just gonna go ahead and say no. We shouldn't drink at Jitters. Jitters is just at the place. Like, I don't understand how they still do business. like they really
like Ray's never been to really Central City.
Oh,
why?
Right.
Who suggested Jitters?
Yeah,
because Jitters has things named after the Flash. Makes you feel like it's a local place.
Mm-hmm.
They go on Yelp. How did we get here? Why aren't we at Starbucks? Aside from branding,
right?
Why are we at some big chain motherfucker? Why did we go to CC Jitters, which it being named after one of the creators of the Flash always makes me smile. I really appreciate that, but I don't appreciate the fact that it has a terrible business plan with some very, very liberal insurance policies.
Oh, God.
At some point, you're sitting an underwriter out there like, we're not paying this. We're not paying. This is ridiculous.
Like,
or their premium is sky high.
Oh, you know who in Central City is getting paid bank? Glassmaker show. Whoever installs glass in Central City is just, they're rolling in dough. They are.
I hope this becomes a plot point and they reveal it to be like Goldface or something. That's just like a little wrinkle for me so I can laugh and giggle my ass off. Because Goldface was like, okay, I'm not going to go Goldface, but the bottom line is it would work, okay? Just looking at the character, it would work. It'd be awesome. Sorry.
I know, we've gone completely off the rails, guys. I'm sorry. It's just...
this show, it made... You know what happened? I'm happy.
Yeah.
I watched this show. It was awesome because we got to see Sara Lance deal with real shit and not with a sarcastic fucking like armor up badass reaction to it. Mm-hmm. You got to see her be really scared for the first time in a very long time.
Absolutely, yeah. So
and you got to see her character move forward because as much as you and I love the Sara Lance seduction / badassery hour, it's nice that they're touching on the fact that she's been through a shit ton of trauma. I don't know if you guys listened to our Arrow review from last week, but I mentioned at the end of the episode with Captain Lance and not Laurel was awkward and weirdly shy and felt like Captain Lance had snapped. We point out all the time how much shit they put him through.
That's the other thing.
She's been through a lot too. She literally died and came back.
Well, that's the other thing too. They're back in the present time. Why isn't she going to see her dad? Like, they could solve a lot of the problems that Captain Lance is having over there in Star City if Sarah just popped in with her dad. Or maybe, why did she not, like, oh my God, it's just hitting me right now. Like, I just don't think the show, like, I think the other shows haven't realized how good Legend of Tomorrow is. Because we got Stein talking through time to his, reading to his grandbaby, but we've never seen Sarah call her fucking dad. And over in Arrow, I keep calling him Captain Lance. Quentin Lance is literally losing his fucking mind to the point of he's now kidnapped, Earth 2, Laurel Lance because he thinks he needs a daughter.
Well, I think it's interesting because they kind of touched on this episode. Sarah's very much running from the past.
True.
She doesn't want to confront it. She doesn't want to deal with it. She chose to stay on a fucking time ship for a reason.
Right.
Everyone's in for a reason. And hers is the presence too bad, too painful, too real.
Absolutely. I just would like them to actually point that out.
I like the subtext because I think it's there, especially with the way they kind of delved into her background this episode. Well, it's definitely there.
Well, and I mean, I'm wrong with that. Not on, maybe not on this episode, but maybe even on Arrow. Just like, Quentin, you do have a daughter that's alive. She's traveling through time. He knows she's alive. So it's like, it just feels weird. Like he acts like he has no daughter. And I get, like you said, I totally understand why Sarah doesn't, because even when she first joined the Legends, that was the whole thing. Yeah. But like Quentin, you do have a daughter, and you do have a ex-wife. Like it's just they've really isolated him for, I think, no reason. But anyway, we're completely off topics in this different show. So anyway, we're really, really happy that Legend of Tomorrow is back. And do they say what episode? I kind of don't want to know, but I do. Like, when Wally's showing up? Because that's the thing. We haven't been able to talk about this because we haven't been reviewing the show. But another one of our ideas that we brought up Wally West is going to be a season regular for the rest of the season at some point.
When he shows up, he shows up. I'm not worried about Wally. When he shows up, he shows up.
Yeah. So I'm just excited because I really wanted Wally on the show, and I think it's gonna be great. So
I think they'll be able to hide some of the parts of the character that aren't as strong, and I think it'll be better on a larger ensemble.
Oh, absolutely. So, but yeah, no, this episode was great. And we got Wentworth Miller is gone. I mean, I guess gone but not forgotten. We'll probably see him again at some point.
He has one more Flash episode.
Oh, he does have one more Flash episode. Okay.
He's got one more Arrowverse appearance on his contract, and it's a Flash episode.
Okay.
I imagine it's going to the Speed Force or a flashback or some shit. But yeah. That's it.
Yeah, but man, I love how it was a goodbye. You get. They didn't break character, but you kind of feel it was like a real moment almost. And then Mick started watching TV. You're like, he's watching TV, isn't he? Of course he is. Yeah. It just Mick and Sarah, legends, man. They live with the name Legends. Gotta fucking love it. So, anyway, folks, that is it for our review. I think next week we're still on break for everything but this show, and the ladies have Black Lightning. Email us. We'll be recording the mailbag. I don't have the calendar up. What date is that? Whatever. The 25th. So you have a little bit of time. Email us, mailbag@mtrnetwork.net. And yeah, because I know everybody's gonna want to talk about Black Panther. But we'll talk about everything else too. A lot of things going on in comic book news and things like that, movie news and things. So, but yeah, email us in mailbag@mtrnetwork.net, and we'll get that in. We'll record on the 25th and get it out on the 28th, and that'll be great. So, you got anything else, man? You want to say?
No, I'm just really glad to be back, and I'm also really glad that the shows are on break. It's nice.
Oh God, dude, I'm so fucking tired right now.
We have so much content.
So much content. It's crazy.
Subscribe to individual feeds, guys. It's the best way to get it. I'm telling you.
Seriously, thank you for bringing that up. We're putting I think right now everything has had at least one show on its individual feed that's not on the main show. So I know that there will be another character corner before the end of this month. So make sure you subscribe to that. We actually also have an interview that's going to come out too. That'll be on that feed as well. We did. Phenom and I are recording episode 2 of our award show, the Oscars talk, and that'll be on the movie trailer reviews feed. The next one I think is talking about the actors, so best male, best actor and best supporting actor, and I can't remember what the other like throwaway topic we were also talking about on that one as well. But subscribe there, and then obviously Super Tuesday recap. You know everything you're getting on there as well. So and then check out youtube.com/MTR Network. I do have a non-spoiler review for Black Panther out there right now, and it's actually doing pretty well. I think we might actually, what we got? We got like 1,300 views on it, less than 24 hours. So you guys are responding pretty well to it. So please thank you guys very much. We're almost at 2,000 subscribers on YouTube as well. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please go there and subscribe to us. Make sure you hit the bell next to the subscribe button. That's the notify button. That way, every time we post a new video, you'll get notified of it. So do that there. And yeah, folks, thank you guys very much. And we'll be back next week for the Super Tuesday recap. Thank you guys. Peace.